Surprising offense. Michael Finley, Rafe LaFrentz, Dirk Nowitzki up front. Dirk Nowitzki coming up with a sensational 7th game against Sacramento this past Saturday night. And here are the Spurs with Tony Parker, Steven Jackson at the guards. Bruce Bowen, who has been a threat from downtown, David Robinson, and the NBA's most valuable player, Tim Duncan. His best game of the Lakers series, the clinching game 6, 37 points, 16 rebounds for Duncan. The officials, Bennett Salvatore, Ron Garrison, and Greg Willard, and we are ready to go.
How long do you think it'll take now when Don Nelson makes his first substitution and changes the size of this lineup?
Well, I think it all depends on how they defend Tim Duncan. I think if they can't defend him well, they'll go to more zone. Zone means Sean Bradley to patrol the middle, and then Rafe LaFrentz will be out. And I'd get Van Exel in there, as Don Nelson said. He wants him to play 35-plus minutes, so he'll be in there very soon.
Don Nelson saying he has been our best player, so we want to get him in there quickly. Here is LaFrentz. Rafe LaFrentz over Tim Duncan.
There you go, first pick and roll of the game. You will see numerous pick and rolls, every angle on the floor involving a different combination of people all the time. You've got to figure out a way how you want to play it, and it can't be a steady diet.
Nice play as Parker sets it up for Duncan. Tony Parker able to break it down on the penetration.
And Dallas had a unique matchup. They had Raja Bell on Parker, and they had Steve Nash on Bowen to try to save Nash's fouls and his energy.
Nowitzki puts the move on Bowen and scores.
You see Nowitzki smart enough not to take it all the way into the heart of Tim Duncan and David Robinson. Pulled up short, hit the jumper rather than trying to go strong to the rim.
Once again, Parker penetrates, but popped it out. Bowen for 3. Oh, he loves that corner three-point shot, and he has been on fire. LaFrentz. Robinson not allowing the shot. Nowitzki for the lead. Finley. Nice pass from Nowitzki, setting it up for the cutting Finley, and the Mavericks up by 1.
Talk about matchups. You've got Tim Duncan playing Raja Bell out there. Normally you think that's unusual. They want to cheat off of Raja Bell and let Tim Duncan help save his fouls for later on in the game.
Wild shot thrown up by Duncan. The 7-footer Nowitzki able to handle, but the pass out of bounds. So the ball back to San Antonio. A live TNT NBA Spanish language feed is now available via SAP. We're just underway. Mavericks with a 6-5 lead on the Spurs. Game 1 of this Western Conference Final. Game 2 Wednesday night here in San Antonio. Blocking foul is called on Raja Bell.
And there are different matchups all over the floor. LaFrentz is playing Duncan, Nowitzki guarding Robinson. The problem for San Antonio is because of all these cross matches, how do you get back and get your defense set in transition? Sacramento and rebounded, a lot to do with Weber being out, but certainly came back and played very well in that series.
Michael Finley knocks down a 3. Mavericks 9, the Spurs 7. San Antonio at 60-22 during the regular season. Same record as Dallas. Here's Duncan. Prodigal glass. And able to hit on the putback. Spurs getting home court advantage by virtue of the second tiebreaker. Off the steal, back from the Spurs. And Parker lost his balance. So the ball back to the Mavericks. Crowd looking for a foul. Allison 60-22 during the regular season. Not a good shot by Raja Bell. That second tiebreaker, best record in the conference because these two teams split the season series at 2 apiece. Duncan feeling for LaFrentz. Now Parker gives it right back. Bell cheating off, and the foul is called. Tim Duncan drawing the double team. Rafe LaFrentz called for that foul.
Repost. That means you throw it in the first time, it gets kicked back out, then you go right back inside again to Duncan. This time he splits the attempted double team by Dallas on the arms. Duncan goes to the line.
And Tim Duncan has had his difficulties at the line during the season. 71%. San Antonio as a team only 73%, 26th in the league.
And what San Antonio wants to do is have a huge free throw discrepancy at the end of the game. They should want to get to the free throw line plus 30. They want to keep Dallas off the line below 20 attempts because Dallas is a jump shooting team.
Remember, during the regular season, 5 more free throws per game for San Antonio than Dallas took, but that's just the regular season.
Here's Nash for 3. The French try to keep it alive. And the outside official, Bennett Salvatore, calling a foul, and players had to be separated. Steven Jackson and Rafe LaFrentz had words. The foul was called on Parker. Calming down Rafe LaFrentz.
Obviously, the jump shot by Nash. The reason he's going to have to take a lot of those tonight is because they're going underneath the pick and rolls early on. There you see the scramble for the loose ball. Jackson, Raja Bell down on the floor going after it, trying to force the jump ball.
Nick Van Exel checking in, early entry for Nick.
And I think what Don Nelson wanted to do, besides getting Van Exel on the floor, who had such a great series against Sacramento, is to force Duncan to guard Nowitzki. Now the small lineup makes it impossible for them to hide Duncan defensively.
Finley going at Jackson. Michael Finley had problems with that pulled hamstring earlier in the playoffs that has come on in recent games.
Well, Don Nelson told us before Game 7 that he was feeling much better. He could see a marked improvement in his play. He's very confident tonight.
Jackson not able to hit. And Nowitzki handles. Nowitzki way off, got glass, and here's it from the crowd. Game is tied at 11. We played 4 minutes. Pretty feed by Jackson, and Duncan with 8 points here at the start.
That was a beautiful feed because Jackson saw there was no help behind. They tried to front Duncan in the post, and he quickly threw the pass. Duncan did a good job getting his hands up to catch it.
Mitchell passed on the shot. They swing it to Finley. He's had the hot hand. Back comes Jackson. Jackson directs traffic. He tells Parker to move to the corner. Jackson being played by Van Exel. Try to lead Robinson. It actually deflected off. Oh, the Spurs very fortunate on that possession.
Was that a whip pass that he threw? A whip pass behind the defender's back.
All right, here's Van Exel right back. You seem to like that terminology that someone used the other night.
It's something I picked up recently in the game that we did.
Timeout is taken by the Spurs with 5 minutes gone by in the first, and San Antonio up again tonight. The French with the ball and fires. Spurs with a 15-13 lead on the Mavericks as we come up on 6.5 remaining in this first quarter, and away from the ball, a foul on Dallas. It's on LaFrentz. Now here comes Sean Bradley. Bradley came up with a strong 18 minutes in Game 7 against the Kings. Saturday night, 7 rebounds, blocked shot. Good job defensively against Vlade Divac. But earlier in the series, Don Nelson reluctant to play him because of the pace of the game. Bradley matched with Robinson. Parker using the pick.
They want a double dribble. That's what Dallas is up hollering about right now. They feel that he used the dribble twice.
Here's Bowen for 3. And Nash with the save. Van Exel and Nash in the backcourt. Nowitzki, Finley, Bradley on the front line. Finley working hard against Jackson. Nowitzki with a quick release. Second field goal for Nowitzki, and the Mavericks now lead by 1. That was from downtown.
First time Nowitzki was on Duncan. Duncan was at the top of the circle running pick and roll. Now immediately they go right back in the hole. This is where I feel he should be if Nowitzki's going to play him. Trying to put fouls on Dirk.
Tim Duncan with 10 points. Fast start for Duncan, so the Spurs lead by 1. Nash. And back comes San Antonio. Robinson with the head fake. Slipping it to Duncan, and he's held by Van Exel.
Trying to take advantage of the footwork of Bradley. As soon as Robinson caught it, he put it down on the floor, created a situation where he could drop it off to Tim Duncan.
Duncan found Robinson early. There Robinson found Duncan. They passed the ball as well as any two big men and have played together for so long. They really, really do a nice job of finding each other.
14 foul committed by Dallas. Manu Ginobili has checked in, as has Malik Rose. Don Nelson telling us he's particularly concerned about the combination of Tim Duncan and Malik Rose. Parker for three. Tony Parker with 5 points. San Antonio has hit 7 of its first 12 from the field, and they lead 20-16. Bradley, crowd was looking for travel, and Ginobili with the lead to Parker, overplayed by Van Exel. Can he take advantage? Now he's rejected by Bradley. Now Van Exel chased by Ginobili. Lefty against lefty.
Credit Ginobili for the effort of getting back, changing the shot, saving a basket for his team, because everyone had forgot to cover the backcourt when Tony Parker penetrated in the lane.
Parker gets the screen. Here's Rose. Now Ginobili, being played by Nowitzki. The double team on Duncan. Ginobili shoots for 3. 8:01 by San Antonio. They are now 3 of 4 from downtown.
And Marv, that was a perfect sequence for San Antonio because they used the entire shot clock.
There's Finley for 3. Parker on the open floor. Leads Rose with by Nowitzki. The Spurs 25. The Mavericks 16.
How often do you see Don Nelson stand up and say to his team, slow it down? Doesn't happen very often, but he wants to make sure he gets a high percentage shot this time down.
Will Nash's shot blocked by Duncan. Parker on the run. 3-on-2. Parker with the teardrop. The Spurs with 12 unanswered, and Don Nelson wants to talk it over. Their last 5 shots. 12-0 run for San Antonio. Here's Duncan. Beautiful turnaround and a quick release by Tim Duncan. So the Spurs with a 29-16 advantage. 14 straight points for San Antonio. The steal by Bowen. He has Ginobili. Ginobili goes right at Van Exel. No call made.
There's got to be a call there. Either a block, it's a charge, it's something.
No, okay, so you're confused. There was no call made that time. Nothing.
Here's Mahara, who just checked in, and he draws the foul. The call is made on Malik Rose. Jeff, he's an angry guy.
You know, he's really got to think about how he wants to have that venom. And here we have the pass to Ginobili. That is a charge, but it certainly isn't a no call. And here on the double team,
Line tries to put a foul on the big man. Then in the lane, he seals Nowitzki on his back, and then it's a matter of just laying it in. A nice catch, and then unselfish play to his teammate, David Robinson. Talk about unselfish again versus the double team. Ginobili catches the assist from Tim Duncan. He's 6 for 9, 16 points, 3 assists, and 5 rebounds in the first quarter.
36 points, as you see, most points in a quarter for the Spurs in the postseason. Dallas started out by hitting their first 4 shots, 5 for 18 since then.
Marv, my observation is Duncan has got to start pulling his weight around here. You know what I mean?
He hasn't been doing very much, you're right. Probably leaving a little doubt whether they should re-sign him when he becomes a free agent. What do you think?
I think they're going to wait and see how this series works out to see if they should re-sign him or not.
Jeff always had those high expectations. And now Nahara taking a shot at defending Duncan. That counts, and the foul.
He doesn't lose his poise when he's being bumped, when he's being shoved, when they're grabbing his arms, when they come and double team him. He concentrates on what he has to get done. You see him again, step through, brings the ball down low, and then elevates it high at the last second and has the beautiful touch at the end and gets the roll. Now he's out of it, but this time they take advantage of it.
For more on this strategy, let's check in with Craig Sager.
Well, Coach Popovich rather told Bruce Bowen, don't be deterred by the strategy. Play tough defense, just play your game. Don't let them get into your head. Don Nelson is not the only one that has used the strategy of fouling Bruce Bowen. George Karl of Milwaukee also did it this year.
All right, thanks, Craig. It's a 14-5 run by the Mavs to move within 7.
And what the fouling can do to the entire to the entire Spurs team is take them out of rhythm offensively, even when Bowen is not on the floor.
They just fouled him as he went to step back on the floor on the inbounds pass. They fouled him immediately. And Jeff, that's a great observation because that's the key thing. Every time they foul, you'll see the pass come in. Here he comes on. He's waiting. He's waiting. He fouls him out of bounds,
which is perfectly legal.
I think if Bruce went up into the stands, he'd be chased out and fouled.
The only answer, now some may question what Don Nelson is doing. Is it right for the game? His job as a coach is to give his team the best chance to win. The one response that San Antonio, the one recourse is Bruce Bowen, step up and knock those free throws down just like he just did.
Could you play Steve Smith in his spot right now? Could you give the veteran Steve Smith those minutes?
You could, but I wouldn't want Bruce Bowen off the floor and let Nick Van Exel get free and loose.
Now that was not a foul that Bowen wanted to give. As that sends Van Exel to the line. Bowen is now 5 for 10 at the free throw line. Bruce upset with himself for putting Van Exel at the line. A reminder coming up on the Verizon Wireless halftime report. We've got the entire crew right here in San Antonio. A look at the set, which is above SBC Center. Ernie Johnson, Benny Smith, Charles Barkley, Patrick Johnson, all on hand, and they'll take it at halftime.
Ernie decked out in his tangerine shirt tonight. Looked very sharp back in the makeup room tonight. Very sharp.
Very Sager-like, I might add.
They may be shopping together. You never know.
Just under 2 to go in the half. Now Harrod trying to defend on Duncan. Well, Tim Duncan backs it home. 22 points for Duncan. And the first field goal for San Antonio in quite some time. They now lead by 9. They went 6 minutes without a bucket. Miscommunication on the part of the Mavericks gives it back to the Spurs.
Nick Van Exel trying to be unselfish. Nash figured he had an open jumper. Nash is heading in to crash the offensive boards.
Hawker accelerates, dumps it off to Duncan. 24 for Tim Duncan.
And what all that fouling did was take the crowd out of it. Now they don't foul 2 straight possessions, score, and get the crowd back into the game.
Nowitzki going right to left with a nice move with the left hand. Spurs 61, Mavericks 52.
And David Robinson just a little late reacting to Nowitzki. He should have come across the lane to protect a little bit sooner that time.
Nowitzki has 16 to lead Dallas. Here's Bowen for 3. Yes! Well, he can hit from downtown. He led the NBA in three-point shooting at 44%. Here's Nash, right back for 3. It's been a major problem area despite the 60 wins in the regular season. Nash. Bradley missed on the follow. And a foul is called. That's a foul on Bradley, his second.
You'll see clearly as the ball hits the rim and over the back. Easy one for the officials to call. Bradley, intent concentrating on the ball, forgets that there happens to be a body underneath him.
Steven Jackson for 3. And Bradley able to one-hand that rebound. Outside official, Bennett Salvatore makes the call. Bennett working with Ron Garrettson and Greg Willett. It's on Bowen, his second. A host of fouls have been called. 21 on Dallas, 18 on San Antonio.
Well, Craig mentioned, Craig Sager, that they were 17 for 17, the Mavericks, in the foul line in the second quarter. Remember, they are the #1 free throw shooting team in the NBA at 83% for the regular season.
Foul on Robinson. Nash not able to get to that pass. It was deflected. Here's Jackson booting the ball and then recovers. Spurs reset. Nowitzki fighting his way through, but Bowen gets to it and scores. Bowen went to the left hand against Bradley. Jackson off the steal. Sloppy play here by Dallas. Bowen is open for three. Nowitzki with Bradley and Bell on the front line. Nash and Finley in the backcourt. Here's Roger Bell, who has not been able to find the range tonight. Bradley goes down. He's fouled by Robinson.
Well, this time, instead of Bradley doing the damage to Robinson, it's Robinson that reaches in and puts Bradley down for the count.
Don Nelson going to Nick Van Exel early in the third quarter, replaces Roger Bell. Nash and Bradley took another shot. Foul on the Spurs. It's on Bowen. That's his third.
On the long rebound as it kicks off the rim. You see right there, Bowen trying to get underneath Bradley and put a body on him, winds up undercutting him, and then there's the left hand in the face by David Robinson as well.
14th foul in a hurry on the Spurs. Nowitzki rebounded by Parker. He's hit by Nash.
And this game has a very unsettled effect going on right now because of the fouling that ended the first half with Bowen. Every foul is being contested by both teams. Both teams appear agitated and a little bit frustrated because there was no flow or rhythm at the end of the first or the start of the second.
Kind of like Marv breaks our flow and rhythm every so often.
Shot clock to 6. Parker, yes. 72-59, San Antonio. It's game 1 of the best-of-7 Western Conference Final, game 2, Wednesday night here in San Antonio. Finley, 16 points for Michael Finley.
Stephen Jackson never got a hand up to challenge a shot. He faked he was going underneath his legs to undercut him. You got to get a hand up to the ball and challenge him.
Open shot for Jackson, rebounded by Nowitzki. Nowitzki, yes. Dirk has come up with a big ball game, 20 points for Finley. Holding foul on Rose, that's 4 on Rose with an 8 minutes of playing time.
Pete Rose trying to get his body into the man he's guarding, who's Nowitzki, crashes into the smaller guard. That's a point guard setting a screen for the power forward.
And Nash is a lot like John Stockton, a great screener. There he forced Rose to make the contact, and right now, San Antonio can't try to play Dallas physically. They're in the penalty. 5 minutes and 42 seconds left. You cannot afford to put the Mavericks consistently on the line. They've got to play with quick feet and active feet, but not with their bodies.
Nowitzki, 7 of 7 at the line. He's an 88% free throw shooter, and the free throws have helped the Mavericks get back into it. Down by as many as 18. They're within 6. 5.5 to go in the third.
Spurs attacking the zone that Dallas is playing right now.
Here's Parker. Tony Parker shooting over the zone, hitting from downtown.
Don Nelson, you're saying we're in the zone. We hope they shoot some perimeter shots. They miss, we can run out and fast break. If you're head coach Popovich, you're saying, nice shot, Tony Parker. Just like Nash splashed that one down. The perimeter shots going down help destroy the zone.
Nash showing some signs. He now has 12 after the slow start. There's Parker again for three.
But that's 2 straight possessions where the ball didn't touch Tim Duncan's hands in the low post.
Nowitzki serving up a facial. And a technical foul. It's on Greg Popovich. Ron Garrettson handing out the technical. Greg saying, what for? Nash converts on the technical, and Dallas 25 of 26 at the line.
Nowitzki's going to make sure that no one goes up and blocks this one. He goes in there hard and throws that thing down, gets to the rim before Duncan can come over and try and block it.
Parker once again not able to hit from downtown. Dallas has come from 18 back. And Finley is fouled. A reach-in is called on Parker, his third. So Michael Finley will go to the line.
Well, back in the beginning of the season, way back in December, San Antonio 16 points down. They made their way back in and eventually won that game, which was here in this building. Tonight we see Dallas getting that first half out of the way, now getting their act back together here.
Michael Finley, 86% free throw shooter. Dallas spending lots of time at the line in this third quarter. This their ninth free throw coming up. And they are 29 for 30 from the line.
Mark, San Antonio's got to do 2 things. Get their poise back on the defensive end without...
And they are 29 for 30 from the line.
Mark, San Antonio's got to do 2 things. Get their poise back on the defensive end without fouling. And out of the double team of Duncan, they've got to get a good balance between shooting it and driving the ball to the rim.
It counts on the foul. What a pass from Duncan to slip it to Willis.
First of all, Kevin Willis has very small hands. This is a tough pass to handle in traffic. But somehow Duncan sees the opening. Willis is able to find the handle, and while he's being fouled, for years, it's a step-back jump shot. Watch how Steve Nash creates space by moving into the defensive player that's stepping back to clear a little room to then get the high arcing jump shot to fall. Some fancy footwork, some fancy lasso footwork by
Minutes for Willis. Here's that Exo firing one up through the foul. It's on Claxton. The correction is Bowen called for the foul. That's number 4 on Bowen. So Van Exel to the line. He's 2 for 2 at the line. It is 11 p.m. here in San Antonio. Marv Albert with the Czar, Mike Fratello, Jeff Van Gundy. We've got the full crew going. Craig Sager, Cheryl Miller. And the studio guys on hand, Ernie, with Kenny, Charles, and Magic. They'll be with us following our game coverage. San Antonio led by as many as 18 in the first half. Dallas got back into it. They did tie the game. They had a lead briefly, but that was back in the first quarter. Spurs have led virtually all the way, and they now lead at 101-89 with just under 8 remaining in the fourth. On the turnover, back comes Van Exel. Nahara kicks it out to Nowitzki. Yes, Dirk Nowitzki with 36 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Game 1 of this Western Conference Final Series. Game 2 here on Wednesday, we'll have it for you exclusively on TNT. Ginobili from downtown. Duncan reaching and a foul. A loose ball foul on Duncan, and that is number 5. And Greg Popovich looking to keep Duncan away from the official Bennett Salvatore. Now Stephen Jackson is there. Duncan wanted an explanation as to why he was called for that foul. Tim Duncan has played all but 2 minutes tonight. He'll take a seat right here.
As Duncan rolls in, it's a long rebound that goes over the head of Nowitzki. Nowitzki, you see him lunge forward, but was that him acting or was it a hard shove in the back? That's what Duncan's questioning.
Emotions running high here in San Antonio.
Attack the basket. On offense, every time we have the ball, attack the basket, get them in foul trouble, put them on the bench. Meanwhile, defensively, lay back and stop fouling Dallas.
All right, thanks, Craig. Meanwhile, the Mavericks have now hit 40 straight at the line. Nowitzki is 13 for 13. It's a 5-point San Antonio lead. Malik Rose has come on for Tim Duncan, who just sat down after picking up number 5. Finley on the rebound.
Well, remember what Jeff said. Bowen is on the bench, perhaps the reason being that Greg Popovich doesn't want them to foul him on purpose. So the best defender for the Spurs is sitting down right now while the game is getting closer.
And think about it, Greg Popovich said, attack the basket. Malik Rose, isolated in that last possession, chose to shoot the 15-foot jumper instead of putting the ball on the floor to attack.
9 unanswered points by the Mavericks. Nowitzki with the rebound. Van Exel draws the foul. Nick Van Exel with the head fake. Malik Rose went right for it. And Rose picks up number 5.
He's going to give him 3 free throw attempts. Let's watch his feet to see when he took off. Was he inside the 3-point line? Fake, steps underneath. I would say that he should not get 3 free throws on that. He should be getting 2 free throws, not 3.
That's definitely a 2-shot foul. But I also don't like that you can dive into somebody without actually really trying to shoot the ball. To me, that's an offensive foul or no call, but it's certainly not a foul on the defender.
I know you were away from us for a while, but we did have a game early where I felt the same way, that the offensive guy intentionally jumped to his right-hand side, way over to the right, just to force the contact by the defender. I think it's that defender's space to challenge and go by.
Lazard coming clean, admitting that he agreed on that point.
And where does San Antonio go for offense right now with Duncan out?
And the foul called on Lahara. That is his 4th. Both teams over the limit. Spurs now lead by 2. And Lahara is hurt. He's down at the other end of the court. And the San Antonio player is down. There's Parker. Yes. Looks like Malik Rose shaken up.
And they don't want to foul because that'd put him to the line.
Here's Nowitzki.
And that's dangerous.
And the crowd booing because Nowitzki went in his direction, in Malik Rose's direction. And the foul was called on Ginobili, number 5.
Go back and take a look, Marvin, exactly what happened if we can see it. Rose comes over. He's hit right there. The knee to the back of the head is what takes place. Nahara's knee hits Malik Rose in the back of the head. This is not intentional by any means, but it does happen.
That's what the fans are booing as Nowitzki on the drive nearly stepped on Rose. And actually, well, he did step on it.
But that's not his fault.
He did off, and with some help, has made his way back to the San Antonio dressing room. We'll have a report in a moment from Craig Sager. Here's another look at that play.
The right knee of Nahara hits Malik Rose in the back of the head. Probably gave him a pretty good ringing up there, and Unfortunately, he was able to get up and walk off on his own.
Malik, accompanied by R.C. Buford, the Spurs general manager. We're down to 4:16 remaining on the fourth in what has been a furiously played game. San Antonio with a 104-99 lead after leading by as many as 18, and Dirk Nowitzki back at the line where he's hit 13 of 13. Mavericks have now connected on 44 consecutive free throws. The team record 45 straight. Back in April of '85. That equals a franchise record, 45 in a row. Dallas 16 for 16 at the line in the fourth quarter. Only 1 of 10 from the field, but they have moved within 3. Ginobili got the step and scores. It counts and the foul.
It's those long, slow strides that get Ginobili across the lane, and his ability to hang in the air, bring the ball down, back up again, draw contact, make the play, finish it off, and now go to the line to try and make it a three-point play for the San Antonio Spurs.
And just as importantly, Bradley fouls out, which takes away Dallas's best zone defender.
Sean Bradley played 16 minutes. Did not score, hauled down 8 rebounds. Ginobili is 4 for 4 from the line. 106-101 San Antonio, just under 4 remaining in the fourth.
Marv, you know what's incredible? Because Dallas is primarily a jump shooting team, during the course of the regular season, Nash with a little floater up off the glass. During the regular season, Marv, they were 26th, right at the bottom of the NBA in free throws attempted. They took about 22 a game. They had 46 attempts tonight.
Team that does not go to the line frequently, but when they do, they hit their shots. Here's Duncan, yes. Tim Duncan going glass. He now has 38. Nash again. So the Spurs lead 108-105. Now Duncan is playing with 5 fouls as we come up on 3 minutes remaining in the fourth.
And that's why he's been late to help. The last 2 penetrations by Nash, he cannot risk fouling out.
Now Duncan is fouled. Nahara called for number 5.
One of the keys was to try and keep your body in front of Nash, where you see Parker trailing him from behind. And again, now Ferry steps out the hedge, but he doesn't hold it long enough. Again, Nash turns the corner on Parker. Duncan late coming. One of their keys was that they had to try and keep the ball in front of them. Talking about San Antonio's defense, the last 2 times that Nash has come down, they have not been able to do it.
Duncan now 10 of 14 at the line. But Tim Duncan misses on both. 3-point Spurs lead. And Exo getting the pick and fires. Chased down by Duncan. And he's fouled by Nahara. That is number 6. And Ron Nahara joining Sean Bradley on the Dallas bench.
This is just hustle, trying to go after it, but you get there, you're working a little bit too hard. That hand on the back probably wasn't really enough to send Duncan out of bounds, but the official saw him put his hand. He saw Duncan land on the out-of-bounds line. There is no more force out. It's got to be a foul. It's a foul or it's a turnover, one of the two.
Nahara played 14 minutes, 9 points. Primarily doing it at the line where he's 7 of 8. Spurs now lead by 4. Who will get the first pick in the NBA draft? Well, you can catch the draft lottery Thursday, 8 o'clock Eastern Time on ABC. Then following the lottery, log on to NBA.com or America keyword NBA.com to track with a representative from the NBA Draft Lottery winning team. Coming up on 2.5 to go in the fourth. Spurs by 5. Finley fouled by Jackson. Cuts the San Antonio lead to 3. That's a franchise record 46 straight free throws for the Dallas Mavericks. Out of 2:20 remaining in the fourth. Eddie Ferry is back. Tony Parker puts the move on Rafe LaFrentz. Rebounded by Nowitzki. Nowitzki met by Ferry. Gets the step and scores. Dirk Nowitzki. Blown by Danny Ferry.
And Mark, you may be asking, why is Ferry in the game instead of Willis? Well, Duncan's got 5 fouls. They don't want a big guarding Nowitzki on the floor. They don't want Duncan to have to guard him where he could pick up his 6th. But it takes San Antonio out of a normal flow and rhythm.
1-point lead for the Spurs. Here's Ferry. Can he get it back? Rebounded by Nash. And the Mavericks with a chance to take the lead after trailing by as many as 18. Here's Nowitzki on the pull-up. Rebounded by Duncan. A minute and a half to go. In this fourth quarter, you saw Parker check with the head coach, Greg Popovich. Duncan being fronted by LaFrentz. Duncan playing with the 5 foul. They collapse on Duncan. Shot clock to 5. Here's Parker with the step. Rebounded by Nowitzki. And again, the Mavericks with a chance to take the lead. Both teams over the foul limit. Now Finley takes a timeout. 57 seconds to go in the fourth, and 13 on the shot clock. A 20-second timeout called by Dallas.
Excellent timeout by Finley. He knew they were in trouble. He took it quickly. Now they can set up a play.
And if I'm San Antonio right here, I substitute Bruce Bowen for Danny Ferry. Get my stop, and on the rebound, I take a timeout and get my better free throw shooters or better offensive players back on the floor. But remember, under 2 minutes to go, you cannot intentionally foul Bowen without the ball.
Because they get 1 foul shot. Anybody can shoot it that they want, and they get the ball back again.
Dallas with 2 timeouts remaining. San Antonio 2 and a 20. Dirk Nowitzki as a follow-up to his magnificent game in Game 7 against Sacramento. 36 points, playing with the 4 fouls. And Tim Duncan with a 40-point performance. He has 5 fouls. He has equaled his career playoff high with the 40 points.
Jeff, the only thing now with Bowen, if the ball's in his hands and you foul him, then it's not the ball out and, you know, on the side after he shoots, then it's a regular foul.
13 on the shot clock. And Exel puts the move on Ginobili. The tip by LaFrentz. And Ginobili calls for time.
There it is, Jeff, just like you called it. They took the timeout. Now they can make their substitution if they want to bring someone else back in for Bowen. Because I wanted somebody to be able to come back and play defense if the game didn't get stopped.
The latest on Malik Rose, Craig Sager reporting, suffered a bilateral stinger, lost feeling in both arms. Very scary for Malik Rose and the Spurs, but apparently he is all right. Down to 40 seconds to go in the fourth. 12 on the shot clock. Jackson. Now Parker met by Finley. Shot clock to 5. Parker forces. Rebounded by Nowitzki. There's a 2-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. So Dallas in possession, trailing by 1. Finley around Jackson. Finley has given the Mavericks a 1-point lead, and the Spurs call for time. Another close ball game between these two teams. Tony Parker on the drive. This turned out to be the game winner with 1.2 seconds left in overtime. And the Spurs won 112-110 in OT. They did split the season series.
And if I'm Dallas and Duncan catches it deep, I am not allowing him to shoot to win. I'm going to make him earn it at the free throw line.
This is the first time the Mavericks have led since midway through the first quarter when they were up 16-15. They have a 20-second remaining to the Spurs, but they get it in. We're down to 10. Duncan going at Nowitzki. Duncan comes up short. He was looking for a foul. And with 4 seconds to go in this fourth quarter, the foul called on the Spurs. It's on Ginobili. That is number 6.
You know you're going to get the ball to your best player. You have confidence in him that he's going to produce at this particular time. As Duncan turns into the basket, he felt there was some contact. From that angle, it didn't look like there was any. Tim Duncan can't believe that a foul wasn't called, but it looked like it was a good no call by the official.
And now Dirk Nowitzki will go to the line. He's 15 for 15 at the line, 6 for 6 in this fourth quarter, 88% on the season. The Mavericks have been just incredible at the line. They have hit 48 straight, a franchise record. They missed the very first. That was Nahara in the early moments, and then have reeled off 48 in a row. It's a 2-point lead. San Antonio with 1 timeout remaining. They have a 20 left. And they will take it right here at home. Collapsed in the fourth quarter. Lakers came very close to pulling that out. And that has taken place here tonight.
Remember, the passer is a very good three-point shooter. If you turn your head, Ferry will step back in for a shot. You've got to get it in now. No timeouts left.
Ferry can't find anyone, and now flips it in. Duncan is fouled by Van Exel. And it is called before the shot attempt because he was in three-point territory, but Van Exel got to him quickly, so only 2 free throws for Duncan with 2.7 remaining.
This was all talked about in the timeout. Don Nelson said foul him right away. If they catch it, don't give him a chance to shoot it. Van Exel gets it before Duncan can even attempt to get in that shooting motion.
And Duncan's got to make the first one so he can miss the second one. And San Antonio, you can use their great size and strength to try to get a second attempt.
He's 12 for 17 at the line.
And now he has to miss, and they have to tip it out to the three-point line. So what I would suspect is that another three-point shooter may be coming back into the game for San Antonio, but these are situations it's hard to plan for.
There's Jackson and Hawker out deep. Fires it off the rim, and it is tipped, but Nash is able to get to it. In a stunner, the Dallas Mavericks come from an 18-point deficit to defeat the San Antonio Spurs and take Game 1 of this Western Conference Final.